Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
It's time for Outdoor Tidbits with Mr. Jake Boakes, who is joining us on the phone. Jake, how you doing, man? It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, but I'm pretty good.
Good deal. Hey, let's lead off talking a little bear season because that wrapped up. And I know a couple weeks ago we had somebody text in and ask about, are they hitting the mark? Are they hitting the quota and such? Well, what's the end result there, Jake? How did it go this year?
Yeah, so the season ended on the 8th, and I tried to do a little internal research and found some preliminary data. So nothing's official or nothing's released yet, but from what I saw from our wildlife division is that the quota was definitely met this year, if not some more. So it looks like, kind of like we had been talking about the last couple of times we've chatted, is I've seen a lot of people harvesting bear. We've heard a lot of bear stories, seen plenty of stories on it, and it sounds like that all kind of added up to hitting the quota for this year. So good on the bear hunters for filling their tags.
And Jake, you and I were talking earlier. Talk about the biggest one you saw or heard about.
Yeah, and I didn't track this down yet, so I hope I'm not misspeaking. But when I was talking with some groups of hunters this year, someone told me that somewhere in the west central part of the state here that there was like a 700-pounder shot, which isn't unusual. 2 years ago, I actually worked a case on one down in like the Maryland area. So they definitely get that big and bigger in the state. But that's a hefty bear, no doubt.
If anybody knows who shot that 700-pound bear, let us know.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's unbelievable.
And it could be an old bear story, but you never know. So, But I'm just going off what some hunters told me.
Wow, that's I don't even know what I would do if I saw one like that bow hunting for deer or something.
Oh, right.
Man.
Yeah, you'd probably make your boots rattle a little bit.
Just a little bit. Hey, last weekend we had the youth hunt going on too. We had quite a few photos from parents that sent them on over here to post it up on our photo gallery and such. Was it kind of a busy weekend for you out there? Just being out in the woods and making sure everything was kosher and that.
Yeah. So generally, the nice thing about the youth hunts is that generally, it's kids with their grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters, whatever the case may be. And usually everything's pretty figured out in the sense of people got their licenses, they know where they're hunting, they know what's going on. So, from a work standpoint, it's busy in the sense that there's plenty of people out, plenty of people to talk with. There's not too many issues going on. Most parents luckily aren't bringing their kids out and teaching them how to shoot from the road or anything like that. They're teaching them good quality sportsman ways, so that's good. But it's fun to get out there. It's fun to talk to the youth and the kids and even the adults. They're proud to have their kids or grandkids out there hunting. So, like you said, a lot of success, a lot of deer shot already.
Jake, for the youth hunt here, I know it's in the past now too, but if somebody has got their they've passed hunter safety in that, can the youth go by themselves, or do they have to be with an adult for the youth hunt?
Have to be with an adult.
Okay.
Even if they're if you're 14 in this state, if you're 14 and you have hunter safety, you can technically hunt on your own. But during the youth hunt, you still have to be accompanied with an adult or guardian, part of the parameters of the youth hunt.
Gotcha. That's a good note to remember for my kiddo whenever he gets up there to go up there. Yeah. So with it right now, I mean, it's, we're kind of in the middle of bow season and such. Have you kind of talked to some hunters or heard how the bow season's been going for anybody out there?
Yeah, I know there's deer being shot. I mean, we've seen them. I see them on Facebook, obviously, too, just on my own personal feed and stuff like that. But I don't think, there's been that giant push yet, just with how warm it's been. We were talking a month ago how everyone's getting ready for fall, and don't get me wrong, I think everyone has and is, but I don't think the full transfer is happening yet because it's just so hot and sunny and dry. But I think with this weekend coming up, with it getting a lot cooler and the leaves I just noticed it this morning after dropping the kids off at school, is leaves are really changing this week and stuff like that. I think fall's definitely here now, and I think there's going to be a lot more people out in the woods starting this weekend. But definitely people out, definitely hunters already having some success, or, passing up on deer if they want.
Jake, you and I, we had a conversation, Jake and I, a week or so ago, and one of the things we talked about that I wasn't aware of, and it's pretty much past, I think, for this season, Jake, but that disabled hunting season and how that works. I think that's really, again, like the youth hunt, such a great use of our outdoor adventures.
Yeah, so there's the gun hunt for hunters with disabilities, is what they call it. It's actually still going on right now. Oh, did I lose you guys?
Nope, you're right there.
Okay. So it's a gun hunt. It's basically a gun hunt for people with disabilities. And the reason me and Bob were talking about it is that I saw some incorrect info on our DNR website, and some hunters brought it to my attention about how people were asking if it's a statewide, do I have to wear blaze orange if I'm archery hunting and stuff like that. So that kind of sparked the conversation. So this gun hunt with disabilities, it's not like a statewide hunt. So it's going on the 5th through the 13th, so it's still going on, but it's not a statewide. Like, no one can just randomly wake up one day and be like, I have a disability, I want to go hunt and be a part of this program. So for that reason, because it's not a statewide hunt, you don't have to wear blaze orange or blaze pink if you're, whatever, turkey hunting or bow hunting or whatever. But the important thing to note with it is, because we do run into it here and there where people say they have a disability permit, so they're hunting with a gun out of season. The important thing about this program, which it is really good, just like the youth program and other stuff, is that it's designed where landowners work with the state and the disability hunters to basically set up the hunt prior to the season. So they have to enroll their land in the program. The hunters, the mentors, everyone has to be enrolled and vetted prior to hunting in it. Then it just offers another opportunity for people to get out and harvest some deer that maybe they wouldn't have that opportunity later in the year when it's colder or if there's snow on the ground or something like that. So just another, like Bob said, great opportunity for people, especially if they need a little extra assistance to get out and harvest some deer.
Jake, I saw this. I got this email, I think it was just a couple days ago here, but it was the DNR confirmed cases. I'm going to mispronounce this thing like no other.
EHD.
Yeah. What was it?
Probably EHD is what I call it.
Perfect.
Or what most people call it.
Yeah, let's keep it like that, because there's no way I can say what.
I don't want to hear you try it.
Episodic hemorrhagic.
Episodic hemorrhagic.
Okay. See, that's why I keep you around there, intern. But
I think I had it once in your grade school.
Oh, jeez. But it affected our area because there was one deer in Chippewa County and two in Jackson County that tested positive, and it was after landowners reported healthy-looking dead deer near ponds on their properties. Is there anything similar to that with banning deer or banning bait feeding or anything like that, or is it a little bit different?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit different. It's transferred differently. I believe it's transferred via bugs, like mosquitoes or different gnats, I think. And yeah, it's a totally different kind of disease. It doesn't have to do with the baiting. It doesn't have to do with any human issues, and I don't think it can get spread to us and this and that. But I think the main thing is just like when the bird flu comes through or different stuff like that, it's just the biologists like to make sure that they're up to date, affecting the herd and making sure that they can control or at least help the herd or the animals if they're seeing an uptick in certain diseases or stuff going on throughout the state. So I don't know, the full list of the negatives of it, or how it would affect the deer herd if it all of a sudden we find 10, 20, 30 of them, because I've never heard of it more than a couple, 5 maybe in a place. But it's definitely something that they keep an eye on, just like some other diseases running through the through the herd health.
So if there's something maybe like a landowner finds something like that, is that something maybe do you just give the DNR a call at that point?
Yeah, they would definitely be interested in it. So if you ever, wake up one day, you go out behind your house or your shack and you see there's just a deer laying there. If it's got a gunshot in it or a bow wound in it, obviously, the best thing to do is, especially if it's fresh, is, call your neighboring landowner, see if a hunter got it. That way they can utilize the deer. And if not, no one's supposed to be hunting the area, then definitely give us a call because there could be some poaching going on. But if you wake up and it's just like a healthy-looking deer or even a really, obviously, straggly, sick-looking deer, call your local warden or call your local wildlife biologist and just report it because there might be, EHD or CWD in the area, and that might be a sample they want to take. So, but if it seems like, it got hit by a car, if it's very obviously it got hit by a car, or maybe it had an old wound that got infected and died, you don't technically have to call us. You can take care of that deer. However, if you have a 40, you can bring it to the back 40. If you want to dispose of it, you can. But anything that seems kind of unusual, definitely just give us a call.
Last thing before I let you go here, Jake, I know it's been a few days, but since this is the first time in a couple weeks, sturgeon season over with. Did you see any big ones out there?
I didn't see too many big ones. I talked with some fishermen here and there that had caught some and released them, saw some pictures. The Chippewa River is really low, which, sometimes that's good because for a fisherman it might push those fish into a deeper hole. And sometimes it just makes it harder, or the fish are more unwilling to move around. So maybe some of the spots people would normally catch them might not catch them because they're not passing through and stuff. But fish definitely got registered. I talked to some wardens over in the western part of the state, over by like the St. Croix and stuff that we're talking about, some of them that got caught. So definitely fish were caught. There's always some 64, 65ers that I see. I've heard of a fish over 70 caught, but I've never seen one. Season's over, and there was definitely some successes, and I saw plenty of people just go out there and, legally target them during the season, which was great to see.
Awesome. Have you been able to go bow hunting at all yet this year, or has it kind of been a little too warm for you?
Yeah, I've kind of focused on fishing so far. So one of the weeks I missed, I went up and did some walleye fishing for a few days, which was nice, and just been doing some extra fishing since the season seems to be extending here. But I got some duck hunting on the horizon. I was actually down earlier this week, kind of sprucing up the property where I bow hunt and gun hunt. So that's all ready for the season. So for me personally, like I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the little talk here, is that mentally for me, I've definitely transferred to fall this week. So it feels fun. It feels good. It feels exciting to. I'm going to go do some duck hunting and some deer hunt here pretty soon.
Nice, awesome. Well, we appreciate the time as always, buddy, and enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll catch up with you again soon. Okay, bud?
Yeah, you guys too. Appreciate you having me on. Have a good one.